Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Ringroo. Hello, hello, hello.
And you guys have heard us. First of all, a giant thank you from me. I'm sure Rang will throw his own in just a second. You have heard us, and you'll know why in a second. But today, on this beautiful, rather waterfront property-filled map of Gora Kalwaria, we're going to see ourselves a fantastic matchup. Rang, who is playing with what?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we finally have a Herman Goering division replay, and Xirucaire is going to be the one who will be showcasing him with a Vanguard income. And on the right-hand side, we have Xenon Gun playing as a rather tanky third gun tank core with a balanced income.
Indeed. So, remind us, why did we want to see Herman Goering so badly?
Because they got a goddamn Storm Tiger and it makes big kabooms.
Yes.
Huge kabooms.
Indeed. Oh, I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
But look at this map right here. So you were telling me about this map. I was shaking my head. You were saying, don't know, Con, don't worry. What's going on here?
I don't know what it is with Eugene Systems. This is ever since like Wargame. They always like put in maps where you have to fight over bridge choke points. This isn't too bad compared to some of the other examples of bridge choke points maps. Because at least on the northern side, you can get a foothold as the blue side onto the enemy land and actually not have to fight over, you know, a 5-meter wide choke point. And same thing in the middle for the red side. You can get into just the tip of the town onto the enemy side. But the rest of the map is pretty inaccessible because it's very long, narrow bridges with not much cover. And on either side of them are pretty well-placed forest positions where you can just put an AT gun and stop any movement.
Yeah, I'm kind of imagining, what is that World War II FPS? I don't mean Call of Duty, the One Life one.
One Life?
It's a One Life. It can't be One Life. Karma Cut is a huge YouTuber for it. I can't think
of it. Is
of
it the prequel to Second Life?
I'm not. I'm being serious here. I can't think what it's called, dang it. But, yeah, you have these lone little tiny specks, and they're so commanding in these positions.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, super, super early recon plane here, and we talk about the fact that these have become a rather hefty cost to be paid.
Yes, in terms of your air tab loadout. But it is worth it, not for cheesy strafing runs, but for actually being able to get good eyes on, because this is going to give Xenon Gun a nice impression of where Xiru will be sending a lot of his forces.
Now, one thing we haven't really talked about is, in fact, the Herman Goering division. Tell me about them. What do they bring to the fight other than the GD Sturmtieg?
They got some pretty good infantry options, nothing too crazy, but like in terms of composition, but you got a good amount of them, like, you know, Pioneer dudes with MP44s, Pantogrand, all of that. You got a decent amount of tanks, not a lot, but you got Jagdpanzers, which kind of make up for the tanks. You got some Italian stuff. You got a lot of artillery options, but not a lot of artillery slots. And also, you can get a 600mm off-map artillery, if I recall, which is, yeah, it's also a really big kaboom.
Indeed. Actually, kind of exciting on that one, too. Now, we are seeing the opening kind of, let's say, position taking.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of happening exactly as you anticipated. We do have these Russians that have sped across this north-central bridges to be on the blue side. Who has the advantage on this map, in your estimation?
I'd say blue side. I'd say blue side, because once you push up north, you got a lot of good cover to fight over. If you have a good infantry division, which Herman Goering is pretty decent at. So if Xiru can get into his northern forest area, you have a pretty good chance of contesting it and securing a nice foothold to push into the rest of the map.
Now, I am watching this southern M42 just start pinging rounds off of that poor Jagdpanzer. Has critted him out already one time, so not a whole lot to really be said there. I guess my question is, why the heck do we have a specific thing that are all HG Begleit Grenadiers or HG Aufklärer? Is there any real statistical difference?
Nope. Goring just wanted to be different. If you zoom in on them, they have like slightly different models as well. But they just want to be a special, you know, Feldjäger, not Feldjäger, Panzer, not Panzer division.
Well, they're all special snowflakes, and I've lost them in the trees. That's how good their camo is. There we go. Pretty cool. But regardless, we are seeing the first push over here into this central position. The HG Pioneers, these guys are rather heftily armed, but against like several squads of Superiors, kind of an uphill battle.
A little bit, but he's picking them off run by run, and that will knock out the firepower. The Guard DP at long range can prove to be a little bit of a nuisance, but I think Xiru should be able to mop up his this foothold.
Well, had it been one thing I actually kind of didn't take into account is the fact that those Pioneers are roughly the same strength, out of as 2 or 3 of the smaller ones. And indeed, yep, the guards are right here, but the Gebotledungs are ready and raring to go too.
He throws, and he's probably going to score.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's very hard to lose that one there, and that's a 13-11, and that is going to cause a lot of issues, because now the Russians have to get across, and that's not going to be easy for them. Yeah,
I mean, now we get to the point where it's just, you can't push over any of the bridges, which is a little bit of an issue here for Xenon, as... Like, yeah, if you want to push back our position, I mean, he's got 2 bridges there, it's the best option, but still, there's quite a few forests where, Xiru can sneak a, AT gun in there and start shooting. And Xiru is already buying some AT guns, a Pack 38 and a Pack 40.
But what about that IS-2 in the northeastern side of things? Shouldn't that count for an awful lot? I mean, we have it.
Oh, yeah.
That guy by himself, I feel like he needs to be the one to walk point. And yeah, he's going to take some hits.
Yes.
But when all is said and done, it's definitely worthwhile.
No, that's very true. I forgot with third mech, you do also get, you got quite a few IS-2s you can bring. And this is really the perfect map, or perfect use for them, is to bring them across the bridge to draw the fire and, just be the heavy tank for the heavy push, heavy breakthrough.
Be the heavy tank we all know you are. Actually, I do love this edge play that's going on from Xirucaire on the northern tippy-top-most part of the map. Unfortunately, he does get back a flag because he's put all of his eggs in that northern forest. It's going to be rather interesting trying to fight that Emcha. Because the Pack 38 ain't going to see Jack. Yes, sir?
Yeah, Emcha's in a really good spot. And, it's a bloody Sherman, so it's going to have great fire support capabilities.
The one thing I'm surprised at, we're seeing Onomachiki getting owned by Pioneers. I guess it kind of happens when you don't fight them while they're shooting back. But all the same.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough here for the Onomachikis in that position, because in the light forest area, they can't really do anything.
He just nuked his own troops again.
Russian rockets for you.
Oh, yeah, poor guys.
I went completely off course. Those poor Avtos.
I'm kind of fascinated to see what happens. The SPW comes up and the Pack 38 unmasks. I'd be fascinated to see how this works out against the Emcha. Gonna see each other right about now.
I think 222 does.
They start pinging rounds off. Not too surprising there. And with 2 more squad to autos coming on in. Wow, and what did the southern stuff get suppressed by? Interesting. Okay. 13-11 though in the meantime. Surprised that we're not seeing maybe more collections of artillery on the Russian side other than the 76-2s and the kind of southern hilltop there.
Yeah, this is a map where you're going to want to spam the hell out of artillery. Because it's really the only thing you can do.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Also worth noting, the Emcha is very, very sensibly pulling out of that forest. It's going to continue to be that way until the Germans get kind of, how do I call it delicately, pinched out of that particular position.
Now the Guard TP flanking the HG Pioneers, but those Pioneers are Sturmgewehrs, and that's going to work. And hey, that's the flanking the Russians with some Panzerfaust, Panzergrens across the river. So it's actually going to Xirucaire's favour.
Yes, indeed. Now, the big thing there is if they can get rid of that officer unit, then they're going to be in great position. But they got to get it done before these autos get down here. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. The MG42s are fantastic, but it's not going to be enough.
No, the leader did manage to back out of here, so he is going to survive to fight another day. And yeah, Xenon bringing in more reinforcements, more Shermans, more guards, and Zero bringing in more German infantry of the Herman Goering variety.
Okay, so the officer does get out, but he's leaving behind his one troop, and the second he gets a couple meters more out of that range, we're going to see a very quick surrender, or even worse, a death, and yep, there it is. In the air, in the meantime, we do have an ME-109 with bombs chasing after that recon plane, but there's a Yak-7B behind him, so I'm not sure I'd really be that focused. Seems a little bit excessive.
Yeah, and the 109 hasn't dropped his payload, so it's going to be a little bit slow in this dogfight. You know, he does have anti-air, so you got that going for you. With Herman Goering, your Luftwaffe division, quote-unquote, so you actually have really good anti-air options.
Bombs away. He's going after the artillery. Actually, that's a really good position to stand that. Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Really, quite surprising. Those are just small bombs too, but you know, small bombs can make a big damage, big dent.
I love how something was like, oh, shnikes, there were airplanes in the air. Okay, so now we have Flak 38s appearing all over the line. Pack 38, by the way, up north does go down. The second MCHA is in the area. Unfortunately for that MCHA, there still are things like Fausts and many P-Grounds with an inclination to use them.
Mm-hmm. Just getting close for those P-Grounds is the issue right at the moment.
Very true. Very true. But smoke's coming in here? Nope. So, yeah, there we go. There's that smoke.
There we go. Cool.
Perfect opportunity right there. Wow, that was really well done. And that's good because... Sorry.
No, it's definitely going to scare the amateur.
Well, we also have a couple squads of Superiors and a couple Ognomachiki coming on in, so Xenon is desperate to take back this northern force, and I can't blame him. There's an awful lot of open ground, really, when you think about it, to kind of be having lost here. Checking the other parts of the line. Well, we'll see that in just a moment. That flak blanket is an awfully intense. I'm actually surprised the recon planes haven't even really been hit that much yet.
Yeah, it's just, he's mainly just getting a smaller flak 38, which honestly is not a bad idea for 1v1s. They're nice, they're cheap, you can get a lot of them, and unlike getting more, you know, like 37, 40mm AA pieces, you can spread the map more with anti-air, and, you know, those flak 20mm still do pretty decent work. They're not going to stop heavy bombers or IL-2s from dropping their payload, but when you need to win a dogfight, it's better than having no AA.
Yeah, what's more than that, too? I mean, they are nice dual-purpose guns. They do a heck of a lot more damage to the ground stuff than you're going to get out of a pack, you know, an 88 with the 43s, so... but with the new reinforcements in the infantry in the north, we are seeing a second push getting lined up. But an Automachiki is going to start to get pounced on by an awful lot of these P-Grens and associated Grenadiers. Oof. And that, wow, that ground fire takes out one of those IL-2s already.
Yeah. And then Xenon, he's meant to get more Shermans up here, but currently he's not in a good position to really use them. He's a little bit, you know, scared of bringing them into the forest, and rightfully so, because he doesn't have good coverage over it. And now Zero is actually, he's starting to make a bit more of a foothold. He's pushing Xenon out of phase, bringing a Panzer IV all the way along the northern tip of the edge to try and deal with the Russian Shermans.
Here's a question. When is it too far to push? I mean, again, I go back to things like SD-44, and we would see 51-49 plays, and then we would just see nothing for 30 minutes. When is it too far to push over here? Do you stay with the 14-10? Like, would you be pushing in this case?
Oof. I would try and push. But what I would do is that once I'd captured this forest area completely, I wouldn't try to push spawn. I don't find that really works short rail on SD2. But instead I'd maybe just try to put leverage down south and just try to capture a flag or two. But because on this sort of map, you're not really pushing to, you know, get like a crap ton of ground, because that's not going to happen. You're really just pushing to, you know, put pressure on the enemy, not give them the time to breathe.
Worth noting in the meantime, we had a couple of smoke shells coming on in this poor Pigran. Almost got a chance to Faust him. And indeed, we actually have seen one Faust being utilized to take out an MCHA, or to break an MCHA. But it does look like these MCHAs might be enough to get this back in. Oof. That's gotta break your heart whenever you miss the Faust. It's the size of a small house and you miss.
Mm-hmm. How could you?
Indeed.
Hans probably had it on the wrong way. You know, shot behind him by accident.
It's like, this end or towards enemy? that can't seem right.
Which end? I don't know where it starts.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, man. Another PE2's coming on in. The PE2, this could cause quite a bit of an issue. The 132 HE rockets, ground attack, ground fire might be enough. Oof.
Oof. There you
Oof.
go. Ooh. There we go.
Lead your target, my friend. Lead your target. The elevator's been damaged, but you know what? They can get repairs.
Mm-hmm. But hey, if the elevator's still damaged, he's still going up.
Take the stairs, my friend. Take the stairs. We are going to see this Flak 38 is going to engage this MCHA, so brave idiot that he is. And he's going to find himself getting wiped out pretty quickly here. Alright, so the northern German position has completely decayed. Down south, we are seeing a plethora of Jagdpanzers, and we actually see them engaging some of this artillery on the opposite hill, but signs of, I'm not going to say life, because there's been an awful lot of it, just there's actually signs of death now. As they move forward to this phalanx of death.
Yeah, it's definitely very interesting call, just bringing out all those Jagdpanzers to put. I think he's just trying to get the bridge, not like actually capture it, but just capture the flag, so to speak. Just exert influence over the area. Well, if he was going to want to do a push, he'd probably want a little bit more infantry. As one Panzer Grenadier is not going to be enough. Artillery, however, that's going to be enough.
Oh yeah, he's got 150, he's got that mortars machine gunning rounds downrange.
Mm-hmm.
And up to the north, I believe we're going to see a bit of a German tank push trying to take anything back in this forest. We have five T-34s. And one thing about the 3rd Guards is that, yes, they do get a ton of MCHAs, but eventually, who cares?
Yeah, we also get a ton of IS-2s, but now we're all actually starting to see them as regards to 2 being brought out. I think that first one might have been the one from earlier.
Oh, the Comrati? Yeah, that's been there since the first.
Yeah, it's just been hanging out. The second one, however, is moving down south to try and deal with the Jagdpanzers, and in a long-range fight, I put my money on the IS-2.
Well, especially if they're grouped up quite that close, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, but you know what will not go unrecognized? There's still a Pack 38 to the northern side. Yes, there's a Guard DP squad that's going to take it out the instant that it begins to fire. But it still exists, and that's the important part there. Northern Yak B has dropped its rockets and he's trying to get out of there pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty interested to see how these T-34s end up playing out. It's a pretty good call-in, and nice, they're cheap. You can just throw them into light forest.
The Sturmtiger is on the map. The Sturmtiger is on the map. I'm sorry to cut you off, but the Sturmtiger is on the map. Southwest.
There we go. And there we go, folks. The thing we've been waiting for. All these reeks. A big metal box of shoot you. Even has its own little crane because it can't reload. But yeah. It's actually a really good map for Sturmtiger. Like we said, heavy tanks on choke point maps always work pretty well. Especially when your heavy tank, so to speak, does 18 high explosive damage.
Yep. Look at the size of that Porsche. Oh, so actually, yeah, it was a Porsche Tiger, wasn't it?
I think it was these Henschel engineers who built. I'm not entirely sure. I think it might be Henschel with this one. I mean, it is a King Tiger, but
I'm actually quite amused, by the way. So the northern side, we have a couple of SG-43 machine guns being brought on in, and these T-34s are kind of like, oh, that's cute.
Oh yeah, those SG-43s are not going to be having a good time.
Wow. The T-34, did they up the HE on them?
No,
No,
I
still
believe
one damage. Wow.
it's still only 1 damage. They're just getting some pretty. He's making that 1 damage work a lot.
He certainly is. He certainly is. I almost want to continue to watch the Sturmtiger. I know it's going to be an absolutely horrible thing to watch. Just to look there. We are going to see a smoking out of the IS-2. I think that's just so I can get the infantry across that river. And they'll take it. The Russian infantry in the area goes down. Yes, there's that one IS-2. But, wow.
Yeah, it's really how you have to push on this map. You use a crap ton of artillery and use the smoke. You're really gonna need the smoke. And the IS-2 pushes past the smoke, and now he's gonna be exposed to a lot of fire. Nothing that can really kill him, but enough to, get him to stop shooting through critical hits.
True. And well, in the Sturmtiger, I was just checking out because, not having seen it in so long, really on a replay, I had to double check myself. 2,000 meters range. And the accuracy, the accuracy's not terrible. It's 25%, so as long as you get it in the right zip code.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be too bad. Worth also noting to the north, forgive me for interrupting you, the MTRA in the area is getting pinched out by the captured German T-34 42s. Not even an IL-2 rocket run could see him defeated.
Germans using Russian tanks and Russian using American tanks. I love it about Steel Division 2 so much.
Well,
It's like a proxy war.
And I really kind of wish that the Western Front had been a little bit more indicative of that, because there was, even then, a lot more Boita material than we were kind of given in that game. But, regardless. We're going to see an MTRA coming up to kind of walk point. We have a couple of the IS-2s behind them. I think we're going to be just fine for the moment. Sturmtiger, my friend, what kind of range do you have? Oh man, I'm too excited for this. This is bad.
I know. We just want to see big kabooms. Really, really big on-map kabooms. Yeah. I understand why he's, keeping it back, because he's getting a second run. Oh,
yes,
boy.
he is.
Xiru, here's our please. He's going double-barreled.
Well, again, I was trying to imagine the nonsense that's going to be happening here because of it. I guess it's going to take him a little time to get into position.
Yeah.
To the north, we are going to see that the Russians are getting pwned by their own material, and outdated material at that.
Yeah. Xiru's been doing a pretty good job just holding his whole bridgehead up north. He's been fighting for it. He's been taking quite a few casualties, but he's holding. That's really all that's important. And he is getting a rather huge advantage over Xeno. I think that's also down to the southern post as well, taking those extra flags.
Well, PE2, I'm going to guess we see at least one kill from this rocket run. It's pretty much got to. They're spaced out enough here. Yep, here we go.
He shoots.
Wow! Man, that thing was like golden last time, and now it's done absolutely nothing by comparison.
Very 50-50.
Still, yeah, that's true. The IS-2s are engaging the Jagdpanzers, and they're having their way with them, of course. The P-4 bravely trying to get in on the fight, but that's not going to go too well for him either. I'm surprised he's lasted as long as he has.
Yeah, same here. But they're going after the Jagdpanzers first, it seems. Yeah, Xiru doesn't really have much in terms of heavy weaponry to deal with the IS-2s. I don't believe we get Pak-43s at all. Yeah, you don't get Pak-43s.
No, he has a 41 to the north, but that's about it.
Yeah, really your best bet is either using Flak-88 or like the few Tigers that you get, and you do not get a lot of Tigers with Herman Goering. So those IS-2s are a massive threat unless you can flank him or use artillery or, non-armor penetration means to deal with him. Hey, the
Sturmtiger is aligning.
Yep. He's shooting at the IS-2, I believe.
It's up! It's good, and... Oh my god. I know that seems like it's underwhelming, but that just has made my absolute day.
I do like how it's not just like projectile, but they got like the whole rocket effect as well.
Oh yeah.
Makes me happy.
Oh yeah. Now one thing I do we see the guy get out of the thing on the back to reload it? Probably not.
No.
That'd be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing.
It's like Company of Heroes where you have to like pull back and press a button just to reload it.
Oh yeah, and you know what happens too is that thing immediately gets the reloader gets killed. You have to repair it. It's awful.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Storm Tiger, honestly, it's not that great, even though, I think realistically, if it hit a tank, the tank would cease to be in that general position.
Yeah.
But just in terms of how high explosive damage works in SD2, you can't really kill tanks with Storm Tigers, unless the tank's already pretty heavily damaged. Infantry in Building Forever is an entirely different story.
Yeah, I feel like that's you have to use like the AVRE. You can't use it like
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much like an AVRE, but with better armor, long range, better high explosives, and a crane.
Yes. Yes. I'm surprised we're actually not seeing immediately another round happening here. My friend, you are playing with fire here. Yeah, thank you. But alright, Pack 38 is holding fire. Yeah, actually you're not going to do diddly squat against those IS-2s. And there's only more and more of them coming on up.
Yeah. He did get a Flak 88 down here. Not enough to really penetrate the IS-2 still, but it's better than his other AT weaponry.
I saw a lot of artillery contrails to the north. We have a couple of mortar tracks that are just absolutely shellacking some of that Russian material. And it looks like a lot of the T-34s have been killed. I don't know if that's because of MCHAs or there's a couple of M42s that are in the area or what. But many kills were had.
Many things died.
Mistakes were made. Yeah, these the Sturmtiger just refuses to shoot again, apparently.
No, he's definitely having a little bit of a hard time, yeah, I have to admit. I don't know why.
I'm actually surprised we've not seen more air power being used here.
Yeah, I don't think you get like a lot of air. You get like moderate air power options, I believe, with Herman Goering, if I recall. Your anti-air is really good, Joe.
Oh, better be. But at the same time, I'm surprised that Herman Goering does not decide to put some of his vaunted aircraft into it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's call it what it is.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It's very true.
4 IS-2s. Okay, now's the time you double barrel this.
Yeah, this is getting to a critical mass of IS-2s at this point. Well, for Xenon gone, I mean, he has, with this many IS-2s, if he just starts moving up some infantry across the bridge, he should be able to actually get to the other side. Should.
Well, at that point, he would answer the question of why did the IS-2s cross the bridge?
To get to Berlin?
Yes, exactly. Not a great punchline, but you know what? When you have a commissar with a gun to your head, it's kind of hard to think of some kind of good humor.
Yeah.
And we are back to a 12-12 in the meantime, so the northern piece of Xiru's lines has now been folded as Radvedka's run across this river. We've seen a couple times Russian infantry run across the northern branch of the river.
Mm-hmm.
I guess not too surprising there, though.
Yeah, maybe it should be a time for Xenon Gun to actually counterattack and start getting some land. He does have, we are on sea face, he does have the income advantage over Xiru at this point. And he probably has a, more suited sea face deck in terms of attrition, so maybe now he can make those plays.
I don't know, but one Sturmtiger is dead. And in fact, it was actually the fresh one, so he just completely wasted, what was it, 100 and... Oh, it feels like 120 points, but I don't think it's quite that much. So unfortunately, it's been banged, it's been deaded. And yes, the Sturmtiger that we've seen so far has fired 1 round.
Yeah. Honestly, a Sturmtiger would probably be a little bit more useful up north, even though it's, a little bit dangerous because it's closer range.
No, but you stick it where that Jagdpanzer is the driver knocked out and you start blowing things across the river. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a lot more softer targets up north to deal with. No scary, Papa Stalins to deal with.
True. But he seems intent on throwing another round downrange, and I think we're going to get it too, especially with the 150s in the back from the Germans starting to pound that armor position.
Mm-hmm.
As he limps into the area, what will he get a chance to do? I don't know. I don't see this ending too well for him, unfortunately. But I'm waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, things definitely died down a little bit, it seems, for both sides. It is, you know, setting up their gun lines, no real crazy movement back or forth, just, you know, Zero's got a lot of artillery out, and Xenon not so much. He has like a SU-76 up north, but that's really it. I think if he wants to do his middle push, he really needs some artillery of his own to help out.
Well, he did have more vehicles, more artillery a little while ago, but unfortunately, he allowed it to get beat on by the charging T-34s, who actually with some infantry he had brought it a little bit too close in that northern forest. And we see right now, we've seen some Valkyries being brought on in. So those fearsome warrior women that are masquerading as men in this case are coming in to select the most brave of those German soldiers to go to, I guess, German Valhalla. I'm surprised. I'm actually really surprised that the Jagdpanzers have been able to stand up to the pounding from all those heavy Russian tanks for as long as they have.
Same. I think it also really helps that the IS-2s have such a slow reload. It takes them a long time to, you know, aim and shoot at said Jagdpanzers. But finally, Xenon is moving up. He's going across the bridge. Will it be too far, though?
I was waiting for that joke to happen.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it took as long as it did.
I know. We managed to make it almost 30 minutes, or 30 minutes into a match without making a bridge too far joke. Guys, give us a break. Also, sounds like a shot again. Didn't really do too much against an IS-2, however.
Not surprising, though. Now, we are going to see the first guy across the bridge is going to be an MCHA, which tells me we're going to have ourselves one of those moments when, well, like the first German attack across the bridge in Arnhem, with these super light vehicles. So I'm not sure what's having him be quite so modest with his push.
Yeah. It should be a really good map to use Sherman DDs, even though it's only one division. I think they're third Canadian and third Element. But that's like
right.
Front, yeah. But the problem right now for Xenon, however, is the classic bridge problem. He's trying to move across the bridge. Zero sees that, and he's responding in kind by focusing all his artillery on the entrance of the bridge, and nothing can get through it because they're kind of, you know, a little bit worried about all the high explosives dropping on top of their head.
They are not true Russians if they're concerned about their own lives. You must give your life for Comrade Stalin.
Like, morale, watch out. Just keep moving, keep going forward. You eventually get there, guys. Come on.
But that's the thing. We're actually not seeing a ton of Axis infantry being left here.
No, I think he's starting to run out a little bit.
Well, he's got to start dropping the artillery on his own side. It's 13-11, so if he can hold on for 4 minutes, he's got this in the bag.
Yeah. But he's going to lose that middle flag. That's going to bring it to Trove. So, I mean, Zero, he's pushing up north. He's kind of working. But
he's retasking his batteries.
Yeah.
He's got.
He surrenders 2 Shermans up north with a Valkyrie. Valkyrie. What does that actually mean, Carl?
It literally does mean Valkyrie.
Oh. Huh.
I might have that wrong, so I'm sure someone's gonna be like, Con, actually. But I'm 90% sure it literally means Valkyrie.
Huh.
But
I mean, it makes sense, because it's like, you know, it's like an air division, I guess, and it's bloody, you know, Herman Goering we're talking about here. But yeah, I thought it was just like walk-in firemen like thing. But I don't know German, so I don't know anything.
That's okay, my vocabulary is nowhere near what it should be, so that's totally fine. Cool. I'm surprised they're actually not seeing this guard squad getting immediately surrendered here. Almost as equally surprised as this IS-2 just constantly just tanks everything.
He's a true tank.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This flak 88's going to start hitting this incoming Oknemachiki as they're coming across this bridge. Yeah, this is going to suck.
Yeah. But yeah, his IS-2s are really keeping Xenon in this game at the moment. Just by helping him secure these bridge hedge. But yeah, it's tough for Zero to really deal with him. He can delay him with artillery, but that's really it. And the Storm Tiger, which is still alive, and he's gonna shoot again. No, I think it's gonna be a very dead. No, he's shooting an IS-2. Oh, he's shooting infantry.
For infantry, but the infantry I think was just a bit out of position there.
Yep.
We're gonna see the last. Yeah, he's running out of infantry. He's got a Tiga coming on in, and several squads of Valkyries coming in as well. So if you can get those guys and keep them alive inside that forest, maybe on the western edge of it, just enough to kind of hold the territory but not be engaged, that could be enough. But he's starting to lose territory to the south as well.
Yeah, those Valkyries are really actually pretty decent units. They got a few STGs, not a boatload, but enough to make them competitive.
Did you say they have a few STDs? I'm like, I know they're soldiers. I just maybe I misheard you, but
no, I meant STGs. This isn't.
I was like, dude, this isn't Uni. Ooh, wow, there we go. So the Storm Tiga does take out 2 infantry squads and takes back a flag by himself. Look at that, he's a champion. And again, these poor IS-2s, they should just be throwing themselves across with reckless abandon.
In a sense, yeah. I do agree with that. He needs to be a bit more aggressive. At the same time, if he does move them closer, he has more opportunities to be flanked. It's kind of seen on Gun's problem with the IS-2s. And,
well, he's got to clear away this flak. This flak 88 is just looking down the road and just pounding everything as it comes in.
What Xenon needs is a boatload of artillery, as Zero's pretty much securing this middle flank just by, pounding the bridgehead with a bunch of arty, and that arty is going to be enough to kill an IS-2.
Hey, dude, when you blast off enough paint, eventually it's going to do something.
Mm-hmm.
With that in mind, yep, one IS-2 is down. The next one is immediately on the front lines and kills a crew of the Tiger with 1 shot. God help me, I wish I could be surprised by that anymore, but I'm not.
Oh, it's the Rittman syndrome.
Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, to the north, the mortars, I think, have actually kept Xiru in the north. This has kept him competitive completely.
Yeah. Yeah. More half-tracks are seriously some of the best units in the entire game, as they can just provide accurate, instant fire onto an area. And even though it's only, medium-sized mortars, 80mm, as you can see, they can stress out Shermans pretty easy peasy.
I'm also amused by the fact that we actually have ourselves 150 barrages targeting the rear lines, and some of these poor guard squads, the Automachiki, they're just not going to do well against that.
Nope. No, they're not. No, they are not.
And yes, we might see a dead Jagdpanzer here. In fact, we might even see some Russians taking some of this ground. But 70 seconds from victory, I don't know if he's got enough in him.
No. Xenon Gun was pretty close, honestly, throughout this match to making some sort of, counter breakthrough. But Xiru has just managed to hold on by, I don't want to say like a hair's length, but maybe like a beard's length, maybe.
Like a porcupine's whisker?
Yeah. Like, it has to be like a pretty big whisker too, to be honest. Like something long and big.
I'm gonna let that one go, Ray.
Yeah. Let's just leave it at
that. But at long last, yep, there's such a collection of material to the north. It outnumbers the Germans like 5 or 6 to 1, and yet still we're seeing 1 or 2 squads or 1 or 2 vehicles hold up the entire advance.
Artillery, man, it's really just coming down to Xiru's artillery.
But I mean, the Valkyrie squads, there's so much. There's MTRUs coming in, and there's SG-43s, and there's guards, and there's half-tracks, and I mean, geez, the weight of fire by itself. We have this northernmost Jagdpanzer who's just been literally taking shots all day. Like, he has a problem, he's taking so many shots.
Yep, but okay, Xiru's managed to capture that northern flank back. ticking down the timer once again. He just needs to hold on just for 40 seconds.
Yeah.
40 whole seconds.
It's true. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch that time go right out that window. Xenon tried to hold on, but he couldn't even know. Oh my god, look at all his artillery!
Oh, god. Yep.
But alright. There we go. Regardless, while the Storm Tiger was not a massive contributor to this victory, yes, he had an occasional kill, and it's nice to see him. Unfortunately, he's not the death dealer that you might have expected.
Just like its real-life application.
Yeah, well, that happens when you only build 14 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what would be a great idea? We're entirely on the defensive here in this war. Let's build assault guns. Really heavily armed, highly technical assault guns, so we can counterattack.
Well,
we're doing good in the rest of these. We can do it.
Yeah, I mean,
these are, yeah.
It's a fun thing, man. You gotta do something. You can't just be serious all the time.
Who doesn't want to play around with massive rockets?
Well,
that are highly unstable.
I think the tankers were just upset because Werner von Braun was able to play with rockets for a couple of years before then. And it was like,
exactly.
Dude, WTF.
Yeah, we want our rockets too. Also, I like how the game was 38 minutes and 38 seconds long.
I honestly hadn't even paid attention. I'm taking a look over here at one IS-2's killed. He killed 2 of the 3 Jagdpanzers in the center. He killed 3 anti-tank guns. He killed a P4. Yeesh.
Yeah, that was a pretty good IS-2. And looking at losses here, Germans just, yeah, the infantry doing pretty good. One big league grenadier, Reifert, knocking out quite a bit, probably up north. But yeah, pretty. Nothing too crazy stand out is apart from that, just good use of artillery on a choke point as hell map.
Yes, indeed. But folks, we hope you have enjoyed actually getting to see the Herman Goering division. Once again, Xiu, thank you so much for sending that in. Xenon, thank you for playing against that, because we would not have seen it without your help. As always, we'd love to see the kind of fringy division, so if you have a great replay, feel free to hit us up on Discord or hit us up someplace, whether it's here or otherwise.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts there, Frank?
No, just big kabooms.
All right, well, folks, that will be your words for the week. Big kabooms. Please feel free to use it with everyone you know. But until next time, and next vocab word, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.